Well, welcome to week 6. This week we're going to talk about securities markets. So there's a variety of aspects. We've talked about the different types of securities. Now we're going to talk about how those securities get from the company ultimately to you and I as investors. There's a variety of tools for that, and I don't think you're going to find it exciting, right? A lot of this stuff is not all that exciting, but it gives you a picture of how the markets actually work. Before we get started with the class discussion here, I just want to kind of reflect on some things that have happened over the past here. I've been talking to a friend, and one of the things I have a tendency to get kind of excited about is the concept of lifelong learning. I teach in quite a few different formats. My students are primarily adult students, striving to make their lives and the lives of their loved ones better, right? I mean, that's what we're in the game for, I guess. So a while back, I listened to a guy. His name was Brian Tracy, and this is a quote that he had. He said, "Those people who develop the ability to continuously acquire new and better forms of knowledge that they can apply to their work in their lives will be the movers and shakers in our society for the indefinite future." How I look at this is telling me that I can never stop the process of trying to find something more, something better, right? If you become complacent, you become stagnant, and improvement and future success will be much more difficult to do. And my advice really is kind of twofold, right? Obviously, learning is never ending. You should always try to learn some new things. It's not always about your job. I was reading a book just the other day. I finished it up about 3 or 4 days ago. It was on George Washington and his spy ring during the Revolutionary War. And I just picked up this book and started, right? I mean, I just wanted something to do. And I said, hey, this sounds interesting. Let's take a swing. My takeaway from this book, though, is that everything we do has probably been done before. The difference is primarily based on technology, right? We have intelligent operations in the government and in business, just like they did in the past, right? Everything's the same except for how it's actually done. And if you can't learn more, right? If you can't develop these skills, then society passes you by, right? Opportunities will pass you by. The second thing, and this is what I think is just kind of more important in general to the lifelong learning concept, is that you really have to step back and try to appreciate those around you who are putting in time for your growth, right? I mean, they're going to benefit from your growth, right? These are your family members, friends, coworkers, right? They're all along the journey with you. You need to thank them, hug them, tell them how much you appreciate and love them and their sacrifices. I've lost my parents and brother in the last couple of years, and they were so influential on my path and my career and my life in general, right? And I wish I could have one more time to tell them that I loved them and appreciate what they did for me. And I know this isn't a terribly religious type of presentation at the beginning of the class here, but I think showing your appreciation is truly a noble and blessed activity. So again, enough of that. I mean, Again, an extra 5 minutes with my father would make the world of difference to me right now. So don't forget those people that are currently in your life and helping you along the way. So obviously time's been flying, right? This is the beginning of the 6th week. Your class has been doing quite well. The topic areas are not the easiest. And I realize that there could be some issues with technology from time to time. So please contact me or technical support when those technical things arise. One of the things that I've learned over my teaching career is that sometimes homework problems, and this seems to be where people have the biggest issue in these kinds of courses. Sometimes the homework problems are not in the same way that they put them in the text, right? It seems like they're trying to fool us, right? Most of the time, if you can create a picture, maybe a spreadsheet or a table, you can kind of see what they're asking you to do and see where the data goes that they provide you. And that might give you a strategy for how to answer the questions. Sometimes, and I've seen this several times, especially in this course, if you had the table, you would see that the third column is missing one number. So to solve that third column, it's an algebra question, right? So now once you solve that, when you look to the column, the next one's I say, oh, I have that answer. So now, because I solved that problem, I can solve the problem in the middle because, again, it is just an algebra question. And sometimes that's the way it works. If you have a picture of what the entire question asks you, you can complete the problem. And it's really asking you if you understand how things are put together rather than asking you to solve, in quotes, a problem. So what are we doing this week? There's a homework and a quiz this week. Be sure to manage your time to squeeze both of these into your work week. For the cats, I'm going to introduce a couple what I think are kind of pretty important tools in life. The first one is time management, right? You can make your life a lot less stressful if you understand how to manage your time. I feel I'm a pretty laid back kind of a guy, but if you mess with my calendar, right, you're really messing with me. And that really perturbs me when people mess with my calendar. So if you understand time management, it can make your life a lot less stressful. And the last thing is, I think we've heard another thing by Simon Sinek. The topic of his talk here is, if you don't understand people, you don't understand business. So this is a little long. It's like 30 minutes long, but it's packed with great insight into how we can treat people or how we treat people, and in the end, how we can be more successful. Again, just like every week, if you have issues or challenges, send me an email, contact me through the LoudCloud site. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Good luck and have fun.